I want to right now introduce you to Susan Gear. Susan worked as an ESL teacher since 1980, and until her recent retirement, she taught at Santa Ana College School of Continuing Education. She's an avid user of technology. She trains teachers online for TESOL and the Outreach Technical Assistance Center, also known as OTAN. We just talked to Penny from OTAN. Susan is a frequent conference presenter. We've had her present for us here in Texas at the Technology and Distance Learning Symposium. That's where you may remember her face. She showcases the use of technology with adult learners from the literacy level through transition to college. She has co-authored books and teacher's manuals. She's served on the executive boards for CAD-ESOL, which is the California ESOL, and TESOL, and contributed to standing committees for professional development and technology. So with that, I want to welcome Susan and ask her to start her presentation. Susan, if you want to share your video and let everybody see you.
I thought I was. Do you not see me?
I don't. Does any?
Do other people see me?
There you are. It must be my computer. I see you now.
Okay. I started sharing when you were introducing me. Okay, so I will share my screen then and welcome everybody. Oh, somebody else has to. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing, whoever's sharing. There we go. Well, I'm very pleased to be presenting here today. And I've made a presentation for you that is working with beginning level ESL students and working with them remotely. So since Deborah did such a great job of introducing me, I'll just leave that there and go on. So today what I want to work with is to develop tips and tricks for remote classes, discuss how to do group work remotely, and help you to pare down content expectations for remote learning. So the first thing I'm going to do is share a tip with some of the things I do with my students when I'm using a synchronous environment such as Zoom. I think there are probably 3 different synchronous environments you might be using. It's either Google Meet, Microsoft Teams, or Zoom. So tip number 1 is, just as we have you all muted, I also have my students mute, but I teach them how to mute and unmute. And I actually teach my very low beginning students these words, mute and unmute, and have them practice by doing a simple round robin. For example, Jose asked Mark to mute his microphone. And then Mark asked Michelda to unmute her microphone. And I go around and have all the members ask each other until everybody has successfully muted and unmuted their microphone. This is a really great way to teach students crowd control when you're on a remote environment. As well as the microphone, we have to teach the students how to turn on and off their video. So I do the same kind of activity with video. I have each member turn on and stop their video. So for example, Nalja asked Ramon to turn on or stop his video. And then Nalja would say, Ramon, please turn on your video. Ramon, please stop your video. So that is a really good way, tip number 2, teaching them how to turn on and off their video. And that way they can learn how to operate well, just like they do in the classroom. So for tip number 3, if I'm going too fast, just let me know. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat pod, and I hope that Anne-Marie or Deborah will break in.
Yes, we are. Yep.
Okay,
and we do have a poll, don't forget.
Oh yeah, let's do the poll now.
You want to do the poll right now?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, we should have a poll. This is my first poll to do, so hopefully you see it. Susan would like to know, what type of system do you have? What are you using at this very moment?
And I can see that most people are on their laptop and computer.
Yeah.
And what's very interesting, though, is most of your students are going to be on a phone.
Correct.
So one of the things we're going to work on today is ways to work with the phone and the interface of the phone. So only 2% of the people are on cell phones, 3% are on tablets, and 94% are on computers. Mm-hmm. Very different from the
from the classroom.
Yes. Okay. So the next poll we're going to do is going to be, I'll share the results with everybody.
Okay.
And then the next poll we're going to do is, there's a slide that just says poll, Deborah, so we'll not forget to do it.
Okay, terrific.
Okay, so tip number 3 is to teach students how to use the chat box. And so I do a lot of activities. When I had my students first learning how to use Zoom, I spent quite a bit of time teaching them how to use Zoom instead of classroom content. And so I had them play games in the chat box. For example, first I had them introduce themselves. I use the chat box to type in key points that I want my students to remember. You can play a game by using the participants chat pod like Deborah showed you, and see which student can raise their hand the fastest, so they learn how to raise their hand. And then the chat box is a great way to connect with the class. Now, the big difference between face-to-face instruction and remote instruction is that you're not actually in the room with the class. And so it's really, you have to make really focused attempts to connect with your students. So doing a warm-up question is a really good way to handle that. So here's an example of a really, this might not be for a low beginning ESL class. I mean, you could use some of these. You'd have to cut out some because some of these words would be too hard for low beginning, but you can do sad, happy, exhausted, angry, and hopeful maybe. And you have the students say, how do you feel today? Because especially nowadays with what is happening with a lockdown, students need to talk about how they feel. Another thing is to ask them, what was the best part of your day today? And my family and I have been doing this every week we meet, and that's the first thing we do. And sometimes it's hard to find a good part of your day because you're like locked in.
Yes, just a moment. Yes, I was trying to wait for her to take a breath.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay. Susan, could you take the poll down? They're not able to see your screen.
Oh, really? Okay, how do I do that? Just click the red X. Okay, is that better?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so sorry about that.
Okay, I was just trying to wait for you to catch your breath.
And I didn't. Okay, so anyhow, these are just ways to connect with your students, and remember that sometimes it's hard to find a good part of your day, but having the students like focus on what a good part of their day is always makes people feel better. And if you look at the bottom here, the ISLcollective.com is a great place. It's completely free. It has beautiful handouts like this on almost any topic or grammar point you could possibly imagine. So let me
Could you go back one other screen, Susan? I think someone's asking for the previous.
This one.
There we go.
So this was just about using the chat box.
Mm-hmm.
And connecting with the class and playing a game to see who can raise their hand the fastest.
Okay.
And to use the chat box to type in your key points that you want your students to remember. Okay. So especially when you're talking like this, it's good to have key points. And then I want to put this URL into the chat pod. So hold on, I have to find it.
I can do that for you, Susan.
Okay, so it's ISLcollective.com. Yeah, ISLcollective.com. It's a great resource for handouts, and they give you it in Word so you can actually revise it to fit your needs, and it's completely free. So one of the other things that we like to do in ESL is use photos, and it's pretty easy to use photos while the students are on Zoom. So I'm using this is a picture of my cell phone. And when you students click on share your screen, on their phone, they'll see something like this, and they can just click on photos and pick a photo to share. And so one of my really fun activities is picking 3 to 5 students to share a photo at each class and having them describe the photo and having the class ask students questions about the photo. So this is an iPhone, but on Android, it's very similar looking. And so they just click on the share screen button, and then they will see photos, and they click on photos, and it will go right to their photo album on their phone, and they can scroll through and find the photo of the day for themselves. So all of this is using like the chat pod and share screen. Any questions about that so far?
Nope, not yet.
Okay.
Just some folks saying how much they've used ISL Collective.
Oh, good. And so then using breakout rooms. Now, Zoom has breakout rooms. Google Meet does not. Is there anybody here using Google Meet? Just type in the chat pod. Google Meet does not have breakout rooms, but I have a solution for that. Microsoft Teams does have breakout rooms, but they're called channels. But they're the same as a breakout room. So you can create breakout rooms in Zoom, or if you have WhatsApp or Remind, you can also create breakout rooms that way by having them use their text messaging and putting them in a group. And the photo that is here is my WhatsApp, which I created. I show you, I created 4 different groups, and I can just move my students in there. The negative thing about WhatsApp is that you have to have their student's phone number to put it in there. But it's real easy to do once you have the students, and you only can do this on the phone. Now, WhatsApp has a web app and a phone app. On the web app, you can actually manage the groups, but you have to create the groups on your phone. Remind, which is also quasi-free, used to be 100% free, but they're moving into a pay model, but they're still quite free. Allows you to do the same thing as WhatsApp, but not using your phone number. They give you a phone number. And the third one is if you have Zoom and you have breakout rooms, you can use breakout rooms in Zoom. So what can you do in a breakout room? Let's take a look. First of all, it's always a good idea to assign roles. And you may, if you teach beginning level ESL, you are going to have to teach the students these words because they probably won't know them. But I always have somebody who takes notes, somebody to keep track of time, and somebody who can lead the discussion. Now, my words are recorder, timekeeper, production manager. You can change it to note taker, timer, whatever you want, any words you want with your students. And I always want to use the KISS method, which is keep it student simple. Everything you do needs to be simple. It needs to be much more simple than you've ever taught before, because having this dimension, online dimension, makes it a little bit more difficult for students to comprehend. So what can you do in a breakout room that's simple? Here you go. Share some photos of the family, or have the students talk about what did you do today. Or I like this one, it's fun. What time did you wake up? And then you can have a discussion later about who woke up the earliest, who woke up the latest. You know, people's lives have changed since we got down here on lockdown, so maybe their wake up times have changed dramatically. What household chores did you do today? How many hours were you online yesterday? So these are just some of the questions you can put students into breakout rooms to talk about. Again, things that connect them to the other students and connect them to you. It's the most important thing. So in addition, with breakout rooms, you must be very clear, and you must model, and you must model more than one time. So be very clear in your group work expectations. In your breakout rooms, you will, number 1, find out each other's names. Number 2, ask, what time did you wake up? Number 3, write down the times. Number 4, share with the class. So this is what they're going to do in the breakout room. I tell them to write these things down, 1, 2, 3, 4 on a piece of paper. And then when I put them into breakout rooms, they actually have the questions on a piece of paper to talk about. You can also do the questions in WhatsApp or text message or using Remind. Any way you can get the questions to the students so they can have a joint discussion. Any questions about that? Because it's quite complicated.
There's just some folks that are saying they use some other tools other than WhatsApp. Someone did ask about WebEx, what your opinion was about using WebEx.
I haven't ever used that with students. You know, the thing about WebEx,
a little hard. I don't know.
It's complicated to me. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't used.
And some programs
WebEx.
Can't use Zoom or other apps. They use Collaborate only. That must be it's probably a school program.
Right. I don't know that one either. The ones that I'm familiar.
Blackboard Collaborate.
Oh, Blackboard. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Blackboard Collaborate. Yeah. So you can do a Blackboard Collaborate has a online system similar to this where you can do all these things. But just remember, most of your students are on a phone. So the real estate is very limited. And switching between applications is really difficult on a phone. So it's really good to be a simple, use my KISS policy, keep it student simple. Okay, so with that, I'm going to move on to something fun. I don't know if you play games in your classroom, but games are great. And I have what I call 3 steps for success. Number 1, you send out the game for homework, and this is using a Quizzes, and we're going to put the link in there for you. Can you, Deborah, put the link in for Quizzes? I don't want you to go to
Yes,
it.
I
I just
can.
want you to have the link for it, so later on you can make your own. So I send out a game for homework, and then when they come online and are in class with me, I review whatever problems I notice they had in the game. And then the same game gets sent out as homework after our class together, so I can see that they've improved. And they like that because they start off not really knowing, and then when they come back and they do the game again, they feel like they've learned. So we're going to play a game. So what I would like you to do is go to joinmyquiz.com, and you will enter the URL, the number that's up there, 524996, and you should be able to enter my game. So let's try that. You're going to open your browser. You might need to minimize your Zoom room by hitting the escape button to get the screen so you can get to your browser. And you're going to go to joinmyquiz.com, and then you're going to put in that number. And I'm going there on my phone to make sure that everybody is getting in there. So how are we all doing? Are we all getting in?
Yeah, there's 41, 44,
Great.
45. We got 138 people, so
Well, give a second.
Give them a second.
I'm getting myself logged in as well.
Well, what's interesting is there's 2 different URLs, 2 addresses. It's really Quizzes is the company, but Join My Quiz is just an easy way for them to
right, and it's so the
for
students
the
don't.
game.
What's really nice is the students don't have to have any account. They just need to go to joinmyquiz.com and type in the number. The teacher, however, should have the account.
Reminds me of Kahoot.
Correct. It's very similar to Kahoot.
Uh-huh.
But what I like, Kahoot is actually going to a pay model now.
Oh,
I don't know if you've noticed this. This is completely free. You can't pay for it if you want to. They
Good.
just don't take any money.
We like free. I didn't realize Kahoot was going to a pay level.
Yeah, it is. They have a free level, but they have it's a lot of pay level now. And yeah, I'm kind of unhappy about that.
We're up to 77.
Okay.
Come on, guys, you can get in 78. Barbara's asking, I use a computer. When my students go to this on the phone, can they still be on Zoom with the class?
So
it'd just be minimizing, right?
This is difficult. This is why I suggest you send it out for homework. And then have them, you see the results of what they do. And then in class, you can work on the problem and then you send it out for homework. I don't encourage people to play these games on the phone with their students while they're in Zoom, because it really, especially with beginning ESL students, it's so easy to get lost. Okay, so
some folks are having problems with their computers anyway, as far as the speed, being able to open this up and have Zoom and everything.
Correct.
So
it says it's, oh, people are playing it already. People are done. I had it going. So this is good. Okay, let me show you what I see. All right. Can you see this is what the teacher sees. So you can actually see what all the students have done. And so far the winner is Ashley. And you can see how many times they've done it. You guys have only done it one time, but my students like being on the leaderboard. So they often do it like 10 or 12 times to be number one. So it's great that they get to practice a lot. So what do you guys think about this, using this game as I would say, give it to them for homework, have them play the game, go over the problems. Of course, you guys didn't have any problems, but your students probably would. And then send the game out again after class as a review for homework. And you can see here, there's lots of reports that you can get here. Let's see, where are the reports? Here we go, download. So let's look at the report. This is one of the things features I really love about quizzes, is that you get this beautiful report, and you can see how many percentage of people who answered correctly. And you can download this. It comes as an Excel file. So let me open up the Excel file and show you what that looks like. And then you can import this into your grading program, and you can use it for practice activities. You can use it as, you can send it out as a test if you want. I usually do the games for homework, but you can actually make a test and send it out this way. You just can't guarantee that the students are taking the test by themselves. I'm trying to open the Excel spreadsheet. I think it might take a minute. Does anybody have any questions about this?
They're just saying how much they enjoy it.
Oh, good.
I always play this game with my beginners level. I think students will enjoy it. Tiffany Lee's happy. She thinks she beat Ashley. Ashley Griffin. I was on your tail, Ashley Winkle. James bumped me out. This is hilarious.
So here's your Excel spreadsheet. This is not that. Sorry. This is it. No, this is not. Sorry. Somehow it opened up something else. I thought that this was what I was. Okay, let me click here. Anyhow, it will open up in Excel. And so this link is quizzes.com. Quizzes.com. Real easy way to help your students engage with content. And this way, you don't have to, I really don't think you should play the game in the classroom just because of all these, using the phone and moving around is difficult. So as I said, this is the way I would do it. So let's play from the current slide.
And of course, some of our participants, their computers aren't wanting to play nicely today. So
of course,
some of them are getting a little frustrated. Bertha says they already play that and her students love it.
Oh, good. So some people are familiar with quizzes. That's great. Okay, so I'm going to show you another idea of ways. So some of your students may not have very much bandwidth or internet. So you might need to use texting as the way of communicating with them. So I found with very low literacy students that have low tech, you can actually do a Google form right on the phone. So you see the link there where it says copy? Deborah, that's the link I want to put in the chat box.
Okay.
And I want people to push on that link in the chat box. Oops, I just lost it. Sorry.
Oh, wait, I just closed your PowerPoint. Hold on. Hold on,
okay.
Everybody.
I want them to see how nice and easy this is to do on the phone. I know, and this PowerPoint, it takes over all my screens. So I can't even find the chat box. It has a presenter mode. I don't know how to get out of it. I usually use Google Slides for this reason.
Well, see if you can you grab it?
I can grab it, but I can't. Let me see if I can find the chat box. That's my problem.
Oh, go up to more on your screen because my PowerPoint just crashed. Go up to more on the screen.
I'm there, but I don't see floating meeting controls. No, I'm on a Mac.
No, click on more.
I'm there.
Oh, that's all yours says?
Yeah, it doesn't say. So I think it's down. I think maybe I have to click on the zip.
Yeah, right. See where it says.
Let's try this. Nah, I found it. I found it. Yay.
Yay.
Usually my students would be telling me what to do here.
Well, folks are helping us out actually. Click the 3 dots. Click the 3 dots. Click on more. Like we're clicking on more, you guys. Control H.
You know what? Nobody's a perfectionist, that's for sure.
That goes to show you right there, sister.
Click on that link and you guys will bring the form up.
Thanks, Marco.
You'll be able to take the form, do the form, and it's just a simple form. I'm actually going to take you there. So did everybody get the form? Is it coming up on your phone? You can, if you have a phone.
Hold on, they're getting it. They're getting it.
So there's another link on this PowerPoint, and let me show you the PowerPoint again so I can explain what I'm doing for you here.
It's my computer.
Yeah, and it's, when you have a lot of people sharing the same bandwidth. So the one that I put on the chat box is this share link. Okay, that's the one you see when you see the form. But this link right here, which I'm now going to share in the chat box, this is what's going to give you what's called a force copy. Because if you fill out this form, it's going to come to my Google Drive. But if you want to use this form with your students to adapt it, you need to do the forced copy. Kimberly, it says the form's not available. I think some
Correct.
people.
Yeah,
Really?
when you click on the one that Marco did and you just put in, it says you need access.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But the share link we're able to go to.
Okay, this one, okay, back up a little bit. I'll explain again. This one that is HTTPS with all of this and the end is copy, it's not an access. It's giving you a screen that looks like this, correct?
Correct.
And
well,
you're going to make
you need access.
It says, would you like to make a copy? No?
No, mine says request access.
It should say.
Does anybody else, when you click on that, does it say make a copy or request access?
Request access.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, so it should say make a copy. Like this, because that's what I put in there. The same URL link. And
How bizarre is that?
Yeah, make a copy.
Maybe because I'm not logged into Google Drive? I don't know.
Maybe. Everybody, though, says it. So
yeah,
I don't think it's you. All right, so then you'll have to use, then the other way to do it is to use the first link.
Yeah.
But let me show you what to do. I was trying to make it easy for you guys, but I guess it's not working for whatever reason. So let's do the alternate, always have a backup method. So in this case, if you take this link here, I'm going to put it in the chat box, and you click on this link, you'll see the form, and then can we make a copy of it? No. Okay, yeah, I have an edit button because I'm logged in, but you're not. So my guess is, oh, I'm not signed in. Edit. Let's see if this is going to work. Edit this form.
This is the form we can see, but we cannot make a copy.
Yeah, I don't know why the copy command isn't working. See, all I did, I'm not even signed in, is you change edit to copy. You go like this, and it says make a copy, but you guys aren't getting that message.
No.
Tiffany's saying, is the document shared to anyone with link or the public?
Okay, let's check.
She's going to check. Debbie says she didn't sign in. She filled out the form and submitted it.
Right. I didn't sign in either.
No.
Here's my forms. Okay, let's see what we're gonna make sure that it's everybody can get it.
Check-in, yeah.
Copy of, okay, this one, the daily check-in. Okay, and then let me look at the share settings.
Okay.
Let's see what the link send is.
You've got yeah, people are responding. Go to the
So here's the link.
Oh.
See, I don't know why it's not working. It doesn't even.
You'll go to your tool button.
Yeah, Tiffany Lee, tell her.
What am I doing wrong, Tiffany?
I believe you need to go to your tool button to make sure it's shareable.
What's the tool button?
The little tool next to send.
This one here?
What is
settings?
that tool?
Settings?
It's either that or the I.
Well, the I is preview.
Preview.
So here, I don't have anything.
Collect email address, require sign in.
No, I don't want any of that. So it should work. I don't know why everybody.
Well, Judy is saying that she can go file save as when in the form, and she can save her form.
But you want to make a copy. Yeah. If you save your form and you don't make a copy, it's all going to come to me.
Yeah, and she's trying to share it.
So here's a copy. Let me make a copy and see if that makes a difference.
Okay. Share it with the same people.
I didn't share it with the same people. I don't want to share it with anybody.
Leslie's asking, could it be because you're showing it, we need to have our own page up? No, I don't think so.
No, you should be able to take the link I just sent.
I can explain.
Okay,
good. Michelle. Go ahead.
Michelle.
In Google Drive, don't actually open the form. Just right-click on the form where it's listed in your Google Drive, and then go to Share.
Okay. Let me go back to.
Let her get back to her form.
Correct.
Rosa,
hey,
we're all lost, honey. Just hang in there.
You see all this communication going on? You'll be having this with your students. It's
exactly.
Great communication. So, okay, here's my form. Daily
okay,
check.
So now what, Michelle?
Right-click on it. No, don't open it.
Oh, don't go that far back? Okay, sorry. This works so many times. Right-click on it.
Uh-huh. And you should get a drop-down. Okay, you don't get share on that.
Maybe I go over here.
Yeah, let's look over there.
Nope.
Okay, for my forms, that's how I do it. I right click there, I get share, and then I have to change the link setting. I'll put in a chat box a picture of what that looks like.
Okay, I just don't, I've done this so many times before and everybody could get into it.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And usually you
I'm
just
trying
change.
to remember, didn't I do this yesterday?
Yes, you did.
And it
And I
worked.
changed it to copy.
Right.
This is the, try it one more time.
I think I found it. This is Tiffany.
Okay,
Yes.
Tiffany.
The 3 dots next to send.
The 3 dots
I
next
don't
to send.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
right.
3 dots next to send.
Uh-huh.
Click add collaborators. Collaborators. Sorry,
Uh-huh.
my voice. Then click the
Well, it says only people added.
change.
Oh.
The change button right there. The change.
And make it open.
And
There.
click
Anyone with the
anyone with the link. And
Okay.
click done.
Okay, now let's try this URL with the copy because I really don't, I want you to just have a copy. Anyway, we've learned something today. Try that and see if you can get into it now.
That was brought to you by TCEA.
Thank you. Okay, now it works.
Yay! Gotta love adult ed.
Right.
Yeah, I gotta love TCEA with all their blog posts.
Takes a village. Way to go, Tiffany.
Yay. So my suggestion is that you can change this right here where it says chores around the house. You can change that to any content you want.
Oh, yeah.
And then the students could actually do this. This would be, if you can't get them online, you can actually do this with a literacy level class on their phone. They can fill out the form and send it to you. So that's why I wanted you to have this so you could actually just tweak it. But that took a lot longer than I thought. Thank you, Tiffany. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to go on. Now everybody can have that link and just, oh, I didn't want to do that, but I can do it this over here. So there, this link will now work, the copy link for the future. So I want to have you remember that it's important for you to start out slow and simplify. Try not to throw, like the mute and unmute, that might be your whole 1 hour class the first day. Just do it slow and simplify until the students feel comfortable. Practice one new tool at a time. If you want to use quizzes, that's the tool you teach your students until they're really good at using it and they understand it. If you want to use Google Forms, that's the tool you're going to use, but just do one at a time. I know right now we're having a lot of workshops with a whole bunch of tools, and sometimes it's overwhelming how many tools you get. So just find one that you like and use it, and that's great. Try to gamify your classroom because students love games, they love competitions, and I think that's a really great way to learn. And develop simple small group projects that end with groups presenting. Like you could have your students do a small breakout room on chores and then have each group present about their class. And that's a really simple way. It's one question, they talk about it, then they come back into the main room and each group could present their findings. Just make it simple. And I want you to feel like you have permission to give less homework. Students are having a hard time focusing, and with their kids home, they're distracted. So really think through what kinds of things you're going to give them for homework. And I really like quizzes because you can send it home and the kids can play with the parents. I mean, it would be fun. And then like we just failed today, we didn't really fail. We did have a few issues, but failing will make you more successful. So don't worry if it doesn't start out perfect. Just get it started. And so some people want to think that they're going to have everything under control. Look at me. Even Deborah and I even practiced this yesterday or the other day, and still we have issues. So feel okay with that. Don't worry that it doesn't work out perfect for you. So any questions so far?
Folks are asking about a PowerPoint or recording of the session. I know that, yeah, some people feel a little lost. I apologize for that. Just when you have some tech issues like that, it tends to creep up on us. We are making a recording of this, and it will be in the PD portal, so you'll be able to access it again. And we'll be checking for accessibility on the PowerPoint. So once we make sure that's accessible, we can send that out as well.
So I'll go through the 3 types of activities that we talked about again.
Yep.
So number 1 is we talked about doing warm-up questions with students and using the islcollective.com to get photos and lessons that you can use as part of warm-up questions. We talked about sharing your photos with your students and having your students share photos by clicking the share this screen button and clicking on their phone on photos. We talked about using WhatsApp groups, text message groups, or breakout rooms on Zoom to create groups to have group discussions. Some of the things we thought you could do in breakout rooms was to share photos of your family. What did you do today? What time did you wake up? Discuss who woke up the earliest and the latest. What household chores did you do today? How many hours were you online yesterday? Questions like that, just to get the students. I would do one a day, not all of these questions at once, just to get the students communicating with each other.
And we do have some questions in the chat pod.
Okay.
We do have some comments. I'm going to use this poll for my evening class tonight. Yay, thank you very much. Do students have to have the Google Forms app on their phone to open the form?
No.
Good.
They don't need anything, just like you did. All you needed to do was click on the link and you were able to take the form. But to make the form, you have to have an account and everything.
Okay.
And then yeah, go ahead.
How long and how many times a week are virtual ESL classes? Oh, this is Sandra's asking everybody else. How long and how many times a week are your virtual ESL classes? I think she's just trying to get an idea of what everybody else is doing across the state.
That's a great question.
Yep. How long and how many times a week are virtual ESL classes and other programs? Margie says, today we showed the cards or flowers we received for Mother's Day in our class.
That's wonderful.
That's a great idea. Some folks are saying 2-hour class twice a week. My classes are 3 hours, 3 times a week, virtual through WebEx.
So yeah, okay, great.
5 days a week, yep.
Okay, so I wanted to leave you with this. This is actually a real word, quarantinitis.
Oh, I forgot this one.
And there's a chiropractor that will help you get through this if you click on this link, which I'll put in the chat pod. Let me see. Oh, sorry. That's not what I wanted. I have to go.
Here,
like
I can do that now. I got it back
okay.
up.
All right. You can actually go there and see on ways that you can help yourself.
This is so funny. Hold on. Come on, mouse.
And this is my poor dog who can't go out and play ball anymore.
Oh, poor baby. You don't have a backyard?
I do, but it's not big enough.
Oh.
We have a front yard, but we're not allowed to take him off the leash. And the parks are closed.
Yeah.
So even the animals are feeling it.
Mm-hmm. We had another poll.
Yeah, I thought I had a slide that said show the poll.
Yeah, I did too. I know we talked about it. I don't know if you want to go ahead and use it since we do have time, and then we can take a group picture.
Yeah, okay. Do you want to put it out?
So the poll was, what are you using to meet your students remotely?
Oh, okay. That's the question about
What venue are
others.
you using? And I know we missed some, so there might be a lot of others.
Yeah, there's another category. Most people are using Zoom. So my objective today was to give you some very clean, simple ways to use activities that you can do that are simple and that ESL students can connect with. And one of the things I want to say, if you are using PowerPoint with your students on Zoom, or if you are using Google Slides with your students on Zoom, minimum font size should be 30. We have researched this.
Say that again.
Minimum font size is 30.
Oh, on PowerPoint.
And yes, and that's what I used here on these slides. I used 30 point. And you notice that it's a very plain background, white with text. That's because on the phone, every decoration is distracting.
Very good point.
And always teach your students to use their phone landscape. So I'm going to end the poll. I think most people have taken it.
Yep, and people are responding in the chat pod that some of them are using Collaborate and WebEx and other
Right,
things
but
as
still most
well.
people are using Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Very few people in California, more schools are using Google Meet because they think Zoom, because of the privacy issues that Zoom has had,
Mm-hmm.
and they're Google Classroom, so they're using Google Meet.
Yep. And I think Google Meet just came out with allowing their premium functionality for free.
Except they don't have breakout rooms. So I don't
Right.
like that. I need my breakout rooms.
Mm. Marilyn says she has only 3 to 5 students. So we met for a picnic in an open park. It was wonderful to catch up. Wow, I didn't know the parks were all open.
Well, I think you in Texas are more open than we are.
Yeah.
We're not allowed. We're not allowed out yet.
Mm. Well, I'm going to, if you want to close that poll.
I thought I did.
Oh, here, let me close it. Maybe it was me. Let's have everybody stop sharing your screen, Susan, and we'll have everybody turn on their cameras and we'll start taking some pictures. Here we go again. Yay! Okay, get ready.
So to see everybody, we need to go to gallery view, right?
Yeah, so I'm in gallery view, but I'm gonna have to take, we have 4 pages. So I'm gonna take, here's page 1, smile. I got page 1. Paste, go into page 2, keep smiling. Yay! This is so funny. This is hilarious. I got to figure out a way to get all this on Twitter. Okay, page 3. Here we go. Page 3, paste. Go into page 4. Hi, whoever's talking. Hi, Elvira. I'm taking it. Page 4. Oh, wait. Wait, I had to wait for Melissa. Okay, here we go. Smile, Melissa. Yay!
So page 1 people don't have to smile continually, right?
Well, it changes constantly. I don't know why. Okay, I am done. All right, everybody.
So I just want to leave one last thing with you guys.
Absolutely.
Is that you're not just teaching English content anymore, you're teaching digital literacy skills. So go forth and conquer with those students. And when we get back in the classroom, we're going to have a lot of fun because our students are going to know stuff about technology.
Yep. Absolutely. Thank you, everybody.